Welcome back to CVM Live. It's now time for the major stories in detail. And we begin this evening with a major development as tragedy struck the school community. The St. James-based Cornwall College has been plunged into mourning following the fatal shooting of one of their students last night. CVM Live's Nicole Wilson has that story.
There was no holding back of tears at Cornwall College this morning as students and staff mourned the death of 16-year-old student Mark Williams. Williams, who is described as a cooperative student, met his demise on Tuesday night at about 9:45 while returning home from Bible study just before entering his father's car. One of his classmates expressed disbelief at his death.
There was two of us in the class, Jonathan Williams, Mark Williams. I always say, we are Williams, so we are family. So, really, not do much of being humble. So like when we hear this morning, I was like, when I heard this morning, I was like, a joke. It's not to be a joke. Mark out of everybody, Mark. So I was like, when everybody started telling me on, I was getting to find out that it was true. I was like, seriously? Mark? Out of everybody, Mark? Rest in peace.
Dean of Discipline at the all-boys school, Robertino Gordon, has described the situation as disheartening.
The mood at Cornwall College this morning is very somber because we've lost one of our students, a member of our family. It's really disheartening because we do not want to lose anyone, much less a young one with such great potential.
In order to help students and staff at the institution cope, help is already being sought.
Guidance Department will be in touch with the Ministry of Education's Grief Counseling Unit in order to put in place the established protocol where both the staff, student and the family will be given support by that unit. The Guidance Counseling Department, I believe, has made contact with the Ministry of Education unit, and very soon we should see them on the campus.
Nicole Wilson, CVM Live.
3 days of demonstration and a roadblock has led to the Education Ministry addressing the concerns of parents of a St. Andrew school this afternoon. CVM Live's Khadija was on location.
Parents of students of the Unity Primary and Infant School in Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew, are infuriated about the circumstances under which a new principal was elected without their knowledge. This morning's demonstration led to a meeting with their political representatives and the Education Ministry. Councillor for St. Andrew West Rural, John Myers, spoke with CVM Live and said parents are upset because their acting principal, O'Neill Nembard, was not chosen by the selecting committee.
Based on his qualification, he's qualified, that's the best of my knowledge, and based on what he have done during a period of time as acting. And I have worked with him over the years, even before he started, as a man who is a community man, a church man, well-groomed, and can continue as principal. And my personal take on it, I feel personally that he, in my view, and watching him growing into the statue, I think, and I felt it for him. I felt it for him, my personal view, I support him.
Their Member of Parliament, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, says parents are disgruntled about the process.
Right now, my main thing is the children are out of school. Exams just right around the corner. We cannot have the school being locked down for 3 days or 4 days or any day. And so I would like for the students to get back in school and the talks can continue.
When representatives from the Education Ministry arrived, residents were still angered. But Director of Regional Educational Services, Dr. Kashan Troop, says the ministry will suspend the decision that was made, so Nembard will remain as acting principal.
As I explained to you earlier, just give us some time to show respect for the process and to review it based on what you have communicated. I'm showing some respect for your sentiments, and I'm asking you for some time.
Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
The Cabinet commenced day one of its 3-day retreat today. It's the first Cabinet retreat for 2018 and is being held at the office of the Prime Minister in St. Andrew. Prime Minister Andrew Holness opened discussions this morning with an overview of the government's programs from last year. Holness indicated yesterday that the Cabinet will discuss matters relating to the ongoing public sector wage negotiations, issues of national security and safety, economic growth and the upcoming 2018-2019 budget. Relief efforts are being discussed by Member of Parliament for Western Portland, Darrell Vaz, as the parish eyes recovery from the heavy rains that caused severe land slippages and the swelling of rivers, which left entire communities isolated. CVM Live's Joel Crosskill reports.
Catastrophic devastation is the term being used by MP for Western Portland, Darrell Vaz, in his description of the damage wrought by torrential rains and landslides in the parish of Portland.
It is hundreds of millions of dollars of infrastructure damage, not to mention the livelihoods of the people of the parish of Portland in relation to livestock, in relation to farms that have been washed out, in relation to the raftsmen that have lost their rafts. Again, this would be the third time in less than 2 years that the government will have to seek to intervene and help the raftsmen.
Funding to help immediate relief efforts is being sought by the MP.
I will be making a full report to Cabinet, which is going on retreat at 10 o'clock this morning, with the hope that we can get some emergency funds released to try and address these issues.
Vaz then described the damage in areas hardest hit by the earth slippages and the raising of the water table.
The Comfort Castle area, which has been reported, is cut off as a result of a massive landslide. So we have the NWA from Kingston here that's going to take a look at it, because it will need intervention from Kingston to get it cleared that much quicker.
2 representatives of the Jamaica Defense Force have also been involved in the damage assessment.
In relation to Bourbon and Medstone in West Portland, we have a situation where we have the water table rising on the road to approximately 12 to 15 feet. My understanding is that this such incident happened about 20 years ago, and the JDF had to come in and pump off the water. So we have 2 engineers here from the JDF that I'm taking there now to do an inspection.
With a number of communities completely isolated as a result of landslides, Mr. Vaz has found a way to bring food supplies to one such affected district.
Bloomfield and myself will go to Comfort Castle. Of course, we're taking food supplies by air, and of course, we're going to also send some by road as close to the community as possible and get the help of the community to transport it over into the community in smaller quantities.
Joel Crosskill, CVM Live.
The Jamaica University College is the recipient of $6 million that was donated at a handing over ceremony to the campus on Tuesday. CVM Live's Khadija Thomas has more in this report.
The donation was made by alumni and managing director of Chemtech Development and Construction Limited, Sylvester Tuller, to the educational institution. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, President of Jamaica University, Dr. Asburn Pinnock, added that they are grateful for the donation as there is a close link between education and economic development in any country, chiefly Jamaica.
Funding for tertiary education is a struggle, it's an issue here in Jamaica. Governments tend to focus a lot on early childhood, primary and secondary, and rightly so. However, tertiary is a great place to play in the development of any nation. And statistics have shown that when you grow the percentage of persons enrolled in tertiary education, then you are also developing economically.
$5 million will go towards the redesign of the school's gateway and $1 million towards their scholarship program. Alumni and managing director of Chemtech, Sylvester Tuller, says he decided to give back to the institution as the Jamaica University College was instrumental in his education.
When I was a student at the Jamaica, everything was free to the student. All we had was to do our work and to focus on our studies. Today, students are finding it very hard financially to pay for all the different fees and to do well. It is with this in mind that for the last 6 years, each year my company, Chemtech Development and Construction, has been granting scholarships to 4 students to study for the degree in mathematics and the natural sciences. This year is no different.
Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Motorists and pedestrians alike are facing challenges in accessing the road that leads to Green Pond Primary School in St. James, as prolonged exposure to the elements and traffic have left the road in a state of disrepair. CVM Live Joel Crosskill has this report.
Motorists opted to use the sidewalks rather than the roadway near the entrance of the Green Pond High School in St. James, as potholes and stagnant water discouraged drivers from attempting to test its depth.
Long time mistake, sir. Yeah, man, long time mistake, sir. They need to fix it, man. It's terrible, man. It's terrible, terrible.
They have to go to school. It is hard. However, we have to just take good time and go through. Right now, I feel like I want to stop, but we have to carry the children them go to school.
1 hour morning time it take for traffic left out of town, brother. Left out of Green Pond, from around a school to down a farm school. 2 hours, 1 hour for left out of town. That don't make no sense, and we have to pay tax. We are taxpayer. We need road, man.
Principal of the Green Pond Primary School, Vanessa Popkin-Anderson, describes some of the disruption that has beset her school as a result of the massive pothole.
Okay, right now because of the pothole, the students are having difficulty getting to school. They cannot walk on the sidewalk because it is being used by the taxis and travelers coming towards the school. The mud also and the ditch that is there, the pothole is huge and is getting wider. For the teachers, the cars, they have had tires, they have lost tires in the pothole as well. And it's just, I guess it's a chaos in the morning, the traffic that it's been causing, and mostly I'm concerned about the safety of our students.
This motorist says it's been costing taxi operators money following damage to their vehicles as a result of passing through the crater.
No, it's disgusting, man. They can't deal with the thing better, because from when them say them are going to deal with it, I know nothing can be done to it. Just me I say, it costs all our vehicles them on the road, wheel bearings. Because when I drive through water, I mash up the wheel bearings. And even the new man them, them vehicle them expensive. Just me I say. So when the wheel bearings them mash up in our car, how much money they cost we each time? Just me I say. That's why we have to take it on all the sidewalk there. So look how the sidewalk all the mash up because of the way have to drive. The hole is very deep.
All those affected are calling on the relevant authorities to effect immediate repairs to the damaged road. Joel Crosskill, CVM Live.
Portland recorded its first murder for the year. A man was shot and killed on the weekend. He has been identified as Linton Mackenzie of Olive Mount District. Reports are shortly before 12 on Saturday. Residents heard explosions. The lawmen were summoned. However, due to roadblocks caused by the flooding, they could not gain access to the area until Sunday. The Portland police are investigating. Mayor Colin Gager has set a deadline by which construction at the Falmouth Vendors Market is to be completed, as efforts are being made to make the tourist attraction more efficient and attractive. CVM Live's Joel Crosskill has the report.
Mayor of Falmouth Colin Gager provided an update on plans to establish a proper vending market in the parish capital.
Come the end of January, there will be no selling in the town of Falmouth other than the streets that have been selected for special folks to sell special, like you would have the fruit vendors, those that cook will be in a different street, all of that. We won't have people on Market Street that is now clustering, hampering traffic.
The town of Falmouth has come in for criticism for the seemingly haphazard distribution of vendors along its cobbled streets, as well as the scourge of harassment of tourists, an issue that the Falmouth Guide Services has sought to combat.
People been talking about Jamaica and been harassing the guests. So we are here to exceed their expectation, make sure they got a wonderful hospitality and 100% safe, because we know these people save their money a lot to come to Jamaica, right? So we are the one who is to make sure that we go extra mile for all these visitors coming to Jamaica. So as long as the guide from Falmouth are here, it will be no more harassment.
This move is intended to streamline the operations of the tourist attraction.
People sometimes doesn't like changes, and they might oppose to changes. But in doing changes, we should realize that sometimes there is better on before.
Mayor Gauger suggests that the ongoing improvements to the infrastructure and management of the town has led to greater economic benefit for the surrounding residential communities.
This town is a town that has great potential. Look on the investments that is going on. Next week, I'm supposed to be meeting with a very big investor that wants to open and start a big hotel somewhere here in Falmouth. Everybody is gravitating to Falmouth. We have had some of the best. Look on the amount of houses that is going up here.
Joel Crosskill, CVM Live.
Regional and international news will come your way later on in the program. But those were the major stories for this evening. More news coming your way as well in Live in 5 with Joel Crosskill. But straight ahead, we have our panel discussion right after this break.